July 20th, 2021 Common Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Here.
Alderman Warwick is excused. Alderman Dukenyak.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Gale.
Here.
Guzikowski.
Here. Everybody, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Max, would you start us out?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that will bring us to the approval of the minutes of 6/15/21. If everybody please take a look. I'm sure you've reviewed them in advance. And when you're satisfied there's no errors, corrections, omissions, or questions, motion please.
Kirkowski make a motion to approve the minutes of June 15, 2021.
Guzikowski will second. Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Abstain.
Tillman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzikowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Item 4 is recognition, and we're recognizing Tanglewood Apartments and Oak Shore Apartments owners celebrating their 100th anniversary. Catherine, if you would please read that in the record.
Certainly. Mayoral proclamation appreciation to Edward Rose and Sons on the celebration of their 100th anniversary celebration. Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. Whereas Edward Rose and Sons is celebrating its 100th anniversary on Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, and whereas Edward Rose and Sons, a privately held real estate development management company, was started in 1921 and has been active in the field of residential construction since that time. And whereas the Edward Rose and Sons company has completed more than 87,000 dwelling units during that time, switching in 1965 from a majority of single-family homes to multifamily and senior living communities built across 15 states. And whereas with a simple philosophy of developing and building thoughtfully designed multifamily and senior living communities to exclusively own and manage, Edward Rose and Sons has consistently ranked among the nation's top apartment owners, developers, and management companies. And whereas with every detail of a community carefully considered, from site selection to final landscape design, quality, and creating the best living experience for its residents, Edward Rose and Sons continues to build moderate to luxury apartment communities across the country. And whereas for the last 3 decades, the city of Oak Creek has been the home to Tanglewood Apartments, a 389 1, 2, and 3 bedroom Edward Rose and Sons multi-tenant residential community, providing homes for valued members of the Oak Creek community. And whereas since 1996 and for the last 25 years, Oak Creek has been the home to Oak Shores Apartments, which consists of 486 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes with many amenities, including in-unit laundry, balcony patio options, and free heat, as well as having convenient access to major highways for each valued Oak Creek resident that makes Oak Shores Apartments their homes. And whereas August 3rd, 2021, not only commemorates Edward Rose and Sons' 100th anniversary, but also celebrates a positive economic impact in our city through real estate taxes, economic growth, and financial contribution, as well as offering quality housing to residents of Oak Creek and the surrounding communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved on this day, Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, that I, Daniel J. Bakevich, Mayor of the City of Oak Creek, on behalf of the citizens of the City of Oak Creek, hereby congratulate Edward Rose and Sons celebrating their 100th anniversary. Be it further resolved that the city clerk be and is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to Edward Rose and Sons, dated this 3rd day of August, 2021.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Anybody have any comments for Edward and Rose? None? I will be attending on August 3rd to offer the congratulations of not only the city, but this entire council to Edward and Rose on the 3rd. So again, I look forward to attending the event and congratulations on 100 years. That will get us to our first public hearing of the night, item 5, and that's consideration of a proposal of the municipal code to establish standards for traditional neighborhood planned unit development zoning districts. Catherine, if you'd please read that in clearly to the record.
Certainly. Public hearing number 1 is to consider proposed amendments to section 17 .0327 of the municipal code, which would establish standards for the traditional neighborhood development planned unit development zoning district. Date of notice, June 2nd, 2021.
Thank you. Doug?
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Doug Seymour. I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Elk Creek. And the first of two public hearings this evening deals with the amendment to Section 170327 of the Municipal Code, actually amending the section dealing with traditional neighborhood development. As part of the state's sweeping growth management legislation, a decade or more ago, each community greater than 12,500 people was required to at least have on the books a ordinance which allowed for traditional neighborhood development. So our ordinance just cited that state ordinance, really didn't have too much in it other than to say that, we can have those per state code. As we fast forward to the planning of the lakefront and the development of the lakefront, actually, we will be using the traditional neighborhood development model as part of the Lakeshore Commons project that the city is partnering with. And as such, rather than just citing the state statute for that, it was necessary to actually amend that section of the zoning code to codify some of the standards that we'll be using in the review of that development. So what this is doing is just kind of amending that section to establish a base zoning district for traditional neighborhood development. And just for your information, the F Street development of Lakeshore Commons will file for a plan unit development with that base zoning designation. This is a public hearing. I would ask that anyone have any questions or comments regarding the proposed changes to Section 17.0327. Relating to traditional neighborhood developments, to please approach the microphone, give your name, address, and proceed to address your questions or comments to the Common Council. This public hearing is now open.
Thank you, Doug. As Doug stated, this is a public hearing. This will be the first call. Second call. Third and final call. Anybody wishing to speak? We'll now close the public hearing and move on to item 6, which is a consideration of that municipal code amendment. Councilman, questions, comments? Cam?
Sorry, thanks, Mayor. And just for anyone from planning, or Kuzi, you guys got it all squared away. And I read through the minutes of the planning commission stuff, the setback stuff that was up for question, and those are that was sued over, or Carrie clarified where that could be addressed. And
staff really carried the load on that one and explained it very well. There's a lot going on down there, but again, Doug can probably explain it best. And we're good with it.
Just think of it as a base zoning, like a commercial zoning district, and then having a PUD on top of that for a drive-through restaurant. That's the same thing. So this creates that base zoning district. The PUD, which will be coming shortly, actually establishes those standards. And as part of that, you're right, there will be a significant number of very specific requirements as far as setbacks are concerned for the Lakeshore Commons development.
as long as you guys are good, then we're the experts on that. So,
anything else, guys? Okay, seeing none, motion on 6.
Gail will move to approve ordinance 3012, amending section 17.0327 of the municipal code, which would establish standards for the traditional neighborhood development plan unit development district.
Guzekowski will second. Roll call.
Alderman Tillman.
Aye.
Gale.
Good. Aye. Sorry.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye. Item 7 is a public hearing considering a property rezone at 2121 East Rawson Avenue from B2 Community Business to B3 Office and Professional Business. Doug, I'm sorry, Catherine, please read that in.
Certainly. Public hearing number 2 is to consider a request submitted by Anna Krasnoshapka, Fred Astaire Dance Studio, to rezone the property at 2121 East Rawson Avenue, B2 Community Business to B3 Office and Professional Business. No change to existing conditional use permit. Applicant is Anna Krasnoshapka, Fred Astaire Dance Studio. Property owner is True Stone Financial Federal Credit Union, to be purchased by Fred Astaire Dance Studio. Legal description there follows. Date of notice is June 16th, 2021.
Thank you, Catherine. Doug?
Thank you. The property at 2121 East Rawson Avenue is currently zoned B2 Community Business. And as part of the redevelopment of that property, the Fred Astaire Dance Studio is purchasing that and actually will be enclosing the drive up and the drive through for a dance studio. And given that dance studios are only an approved use in the B3 office and professional business district, it was proper for the applicant to request a rezoning to that B3. Staff supports that. The planning commission supports that. I do have a few just for the curious. Here's some of the renderings of what that's going to look like. You can see that the drive-through lanes are being enclosed for a studio. Very simple. And I think the planning commission recognizes that's a good reuse of that property. This being a public hearing, again, I would request that anyone has any questions or comments regarding the proposed rezoning of this property from B2 community business to B3 office and professional business, to please approach the microphone, give your name, address, and proceed to address your questions and or comments to the common council. This public hearing is open.
Thank you, Doug. This will be the first call. Anybody wishing to speak? Second call. Anybody wishing to speak? And third and final call. Anybody wishing to speak, please approach podium. We will need your name and address. Seeing no one, we will close the public hearing and go on to consideration of that ordinance to rezone the property at 2121 East Rawson. Steve.
Alderman Kirkowski, First District. I think the credit union's been closed for at least over a year, so it's a good chance to get somebody into a vacant building there. And I haven't had any contact with the prospective buyers or anybody who's been opposed to it, and I look forward to two-stepping over to their grand opening when it happens.
Very good.
Throw that in there.
Anyone else?
No, it looks like a great reuse of the building, Danny, so.
Yeah, you said it, Ken. It came through planning, and it's beautiful building, and they're actually going to match brick and enhance it, and it'll be a great addition. It's another thing Oak Creek is gaining that we currently do not have, a dance studio. So if there's no other comments, please, motion on 8.
Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt ordinance number 3013 to rezone the property at 2121 East Rawson Avenue from B2 community business to B3 office and professional business district.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
That will bring us to new business and item 9, and this is informational. It's the city's 2021 mid-year budget monitoring report. So I will turn it over to you, Max.
Thank you, Mayor Bukevich. Max Skagen, Assistant City Administrator, Comptroller. So before you tonight is our mid-year budget report, which is reporting the city's financial health in the general fund, as well as our major funds through June. Where did my airtime go? Sorry about that.
Really doing that? Oh, sure.
Sorry about this. Technical difficulties. I apologize for that. What we have tonight is the city's financial report through June 30th of 2021. So our mid-year report will be reporting on the general fund as well as the other major funds within the city. So the following charts and graphs that you'll see in the corresponding slides, again, are through mid-year, and we'll be presenting general fund, solid waste, We Energies, health insurance, EMS, and dispatch funds. So these charts, they're to be read in that this is the percentage of the budget that has either been collected if it's revenue or expended if it's expenditure. So for the general fund through the mid-year, we have recorded 60% of our revenue, which is great. It's tracking a little bit ahead of last year. And that's primarily due to recording of the tax levy. So we're up to date on that. We've collected about 92% of the tax levy to date. When we look at expenditures, overall, general fund expenditures are at 44%. Again, that's a great position to be in because if it was a straight line budget, it would be at 50%. This next slide provides a detailed breakdown of our general fund revenue sources. And again, you'll see that our property tax levy collected about 92%. For the year, the other item of note is our license and permit revenue. You'll see we've already collected about 78%, 78% for the year. Last year, this time we were at about 50%. So certainly trending in the right direction there. And then you'll start to see some of these other ones are a little bit lower. And that is not a major concern at this time. So for other taxes, we do collect room tax quarterly. We still have to receipt our second quarter taxes because they're due 75 days after the end of the quarter. State shared revenue is at 22%, but the majority of those payments do come at the end of July and then in November. So that is normal. And same with intergovernmental revenues. Many of things like general transportation aids come towards the latter part of the year. And the other ones are tracking what I would expect. Our next slide presents the general fund expenditures by category. All of the categories are under 50% except public works. And when we took a little closer look at public works, it appears that we just incurred more snow removal costs in the first part of the year. And what you generally see for public works departments is, your January through March are more snow intensive, and then you get a little bit in November and then some in December. So it's not atypical to spend more than 50% in the first part of the year and then catch up in the second part of the year. But otherwise, general government's at 40%, public safety at 45%, health at 48%, and leisure services at 41%. This next slide provides a detailed for all of the departments in the city. I'm not going to go line item, but I'll just point out a couple that are trending over the 50% threshold that we would like to see this time of year. So the first one is IT services division at 51.5 or about 52%. When I looked into this more, the IT has annual software licenses. Many of them are beginning of the year licenses. So what we're seeing is that we've paid for many of our software licenses already for this year. So nothing of significant concern there. The next one over 50% is emergency operations. Again, as we continue to be operating in the COVID-19 pandemic, we are starting to incur expenses for things like PPE, and we'll continue to do so. You'll see the fire department is showing about 63%. One thing that I will note is that we didn't record a journal entry that needs to shift some of those fire department costs to the EMS fund. Once that gets recorded, that percentage would actually go down to about 52%. So again, much closer to that 50% benchmark we would like to see at this time. However, we are aware that we have been incurring some significant overtime in the past couple of months due to vacancies and a number of leaves. But in speaking with the chief, we're starting to fill some of those positions and some of those leaves are coming back. So we believe we'll be able to mitigate some of those overtime costs in the second half of the year and operate within budget. The next one is, again, the streets division at about 54% and primarily related to snow removal. Looking at revenues for major funds, you'll see solid waste at 92%, primarily funded through the tax levy, again, collected at 92%. We Energies, almost 100%. We did receive our payment at the end of June. Health insurance fund at 52%, so trending well. EMS fund at 75%. We've collected, again, 92% of the levy, and our fees are trending all right. There is about a 60-day lag in our fee revenue, so we've only recorded about 4 months to date. And dispatch at 83%, again, primarily funded by that levy, so in good shape. Looking at expenditures for major funds, you'll see all of them are under 50% except for the health insurance fund, which I'll talk about in a minute. General fund again at 44. Solid waste at about 50%, given that it's a contractual service. That's what we would expect. We Energies is about 20%, but we do a year-end reconciliation and take expenditures from the general fund and charge those out to We Energies. So we would see that we fully spend that each year. Health insurance at 63%. We are starting to see some increased claim costs, as well as we have 2 claims that have reached our stop loss reimbursement amount. So we are starting to get reimbursed for those. One of those is pretty significant though, which is driving this amount right here. The EMS fund, again, at 39%. Once we allocate some of those costs from the general fund over, this would actually go up to about 46, 47%. And then lastly, dispatch trending right under 50% at 48%. And lastly, all of our utilities and fuels are trending really well. All under 50%. Natural gas would be our highest, but again, you're going to have high usage in the January through March timeframe. So key takeaways from our mid-year budget report. Again, our largest funding source is our property tax levy, and we've collected 92% of it. Our emergency operation budget is trending higher, but again, we're still operating in the COVID-19 pandemic. And then as new funding sources become available, hopefully submit those for reimbursement. Fire department overtime is trending higher, and that was due to vacancies and leaves. But as those positions are being filled or those individuals are coming back into service, we should expect overtime to be trending lower in the second half of the year. Health insurance expenditures are trending a little higher than normal. Again, we do have 2 larger claims that have reached our stop loss attachment point of 100,000. And otherwise, there are no specific areas of concern with the city's finances for this year. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the Common Council may have.
Okay, thank you, Max. Questions for Max? Comments?
Very good.
Awesome.
Appreciate the info, Max.
Yeah, no, it all looked really good, Max. And again, I understand fire has had a lot of vacancies and things like that. And really just to touch on DPW with the snow removal, we had a lot of weekend snowstorms. And I know you don't think about it at the time, but it really does add up with personnel costs. So going forward. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Will get us to item 10, and it's consideration of a resolution approving the termination and release of an easement for the property at 102 West Oakview Parkway. Yeah, thank you, Melissa.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. This is essentially a cleanup item. HSA and the council attorney Ryan Spott, who is present with us tonight, if there are any questions, requested that we would release these 2 easements that are no longer needed. They were preserved for the property. Essentially, given the development, this is a cleanup item in terms of title. The easements are not needed. They would be obsolete. There are 2 pieces to it. We have certainly knuckled down with our utility engineer and our assistant city engineer to ensure that there are no impediments or concerns in removing these easements. So asking for approval, and if there are any questions, happy to try to answer them.
Questions concerning the easement? Seeing none, motion.
Thank you, Mayor Gill. Will move to approve resolution 12252-072021, approving the termination release of easement for the property at 102 West Oakview Parkway.
Guzekowski, a second. Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
And item 11 is a consideration of a motion to concur with the Celebrations Commission stating trick or treat will be October 31st, 2021 from 4 to 7 p.m. It will be our official trick or treat. Questions, comments? Seeing none, motion.
Bill, move to concur with the Celebrations Commission and designate Sunday, October 31st, 2021 from 4 to 7 p.m. as the official City of Oak Creek trick or treat.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And item 12 is consideration of a motion to concur with the mayoral appointments to celebrations and the library board. So please take a look. If you have any questions, comments. If you're satisfied, motion.
Bill, move to concur with the mayor's appointments as listed.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
And item 13 is informational, and it's their summarized treasurer's report on investment and banking accounts for the month ending May 31st, 2021. Unfortunately, Barb could not be with us tonight. So you have the information in your packet. And if you do have questions, I would encourage you to reach out to Barb. Item 14 gets us Public Works and Utilities, and that is consideration of a motion to approve the PLC replacement for the projects and award the construction contract to the lowest bidder, Next Electric, based on the amount of $520,000. Questions, comments from our Public Works Board? Comments, anything? Pretty standard?
Yep.
Okay. Seeing no questions or comments, motion please.
Gail will move to approve the PLC replacement project and award the construction contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Next Electric, based on the bid amount of $520,000.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
And item 15 is consideration of a motion to approve the low lift drive maintenance project and award the construction contract to the lowest responsible bidder, CW Papuro, based on the bid amount of $335,305. Questions, comments on that contract? Seeing none, motion.
Gail will move to approve the low lift drive maintenance project and award the construction contract to the lowest responsible bidder, CW Papura, based on the bid amount of $335,305.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
And item 16 concerns engineering and its consideration of a resolution approving a stormwater management practices maintenance agreement with Milwaukee Area Technical College for the artificial turf at the baseball field located at 6665 South Howell Avenue. Comments, questions?
For fields, good thing. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, they
Dugouts now too, I think, right?
What's that?
Don't they have dugouts now there too?
They're enhancing the dugouts as well in that plan. Right, this is just the agreement with engineering for the stormwater though. Right. Anything from you, Mike?
Not really. I mean, this is that general agreement that we have when there's larger projects being developed, so.
Okay. No further discussion, motion please.
Guzekowski make a motion to approve resolution number 12251-072021, approving a stormwater management practices maintenance agreement with Milwaukee Area Technical College for their artificial turf baseball field project located at 6665 South Howell Avenue.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
And item 17 is consideration of a resolution entering into a local county agreement between the city and Milwaukee County for cost sharing on the county's West Rawson Avenue reconstruction. Mike, you just want to give a short synopsis?
I sure will. And so items 17 and 18, the two last engineering items, are related. They're both for the Rawson Avenue project that Milwaukee County will be constructing in next year, 2022. So this first one is the local municipal agreement between Milwaukee County and the city of Oak Creek, and it just outlines some cost share responsibilities. The the lion's share of the construction and the costs and the design are all on Milwaukee County. There are some local items that the city will be responsible for funding, and that is things on city-owned infrastructure. So there's going to be emergency vehicle preemption on the new traffic signals that are going in at 20th and Rawson. And that's listed here as a little over $10,000. There's some sanitary sewer manhole adjustments, 3 of them, total of $2,400. Street lighting is always a local cost. So there's street lighting that's associated with the signalized intersection, and that's estimated at $6,700. And then there's a line item that we're not even sure is going to be used, but an estimated they put in $10,000 in case there's some right-of-way acquisition, and that would only be, I think, on the north side of the road where there's some sidewalk. They may need to get a sliver of property from those frontages, but that's really it. But we need to enter into this agreement so the project moves along.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Questions for Mike?
Question a bit unrelated. The intersection or the traffic light, I should say, was that driven by safety reasons or concerns?
The signals that are going in?
Yes.
Yes, Milwaukee County had done a study and they were warranted from what they concluded, and they just asked that we support that decision, and we do.
Okay.
It's you could be stuck at that. You can be stuck at that, trying to get onto Ross and from 20th Street for quite a while, and I think people get impatient. That could.
I'm actually usually stuck in the middle of the median,
right,
dodging cars. I drive that quite a bit with my children's daycare being there, so I know I spoke with the daycare owner. They're very appreciative, but it is pretty gnarly there between 7:30 and 9 and 4 and 6. So it'll be a good improvement.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, motion, please.
Kirkowski make a motion to adopt resolution number 12255-072021, entering into a local county agreement between the city and Milwaukee County for cost sharing of the county's West Rawson Avenue reconstruction project.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And as Mike had stated, 17 and 18 are related, and that is consideration of a resolution approving the agreement between the city of Oak Creek, Milwaukee County for the installation, operation, and maintenance of the traffic signals at the intersection of Rawson Avenue, as we just spoke of. So, pretty standard. Motion, please.
Kirkowski make a motion to adopt resolution number 12253-072021, approving an agreement between the city of Oak Creek and Milwaukee County for the installation, operation, and maintenance of traffic signals at the intersection of Rawson Avenue and 20th Street.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you, Mike. That will get us to item 19. That is the License Committee, and I will turn that over to Alderman Kirkowski at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. I trust that everybody has not only received the Common Council report listing, it's got 6 items on there, but I think there was also a memo from Krista Miller regarding item number 1. So before I move on, does anybody have any questions or cares or concerns regarding item number 1 for old business from the License Committee?
Alderman Dukenyak, 3rd District. I was not in attendance at the June 15th meeting. And what was the reasoning behind the application being held? Issues with this individual 10 years ago?
Yeah, there was some past history. I think Alderman Tolman could probably be the best person to.
I asked that question because there was remediation done on the property on Putes Road by the railroad tracks. He had the junkyard, and he owed the city quite a bit of money. And to my knowledge, it was not paid. So I raised the question: does he still owe the city?
Oh, okay.
And per the memo, you'll see that it's paid.
It was paid.
So
Okay.
I'm happy to see that.
Great. Thank you.
Does Alderman Tolman, does that resolve your issues?
Yes.
Okay,
No doubt.
great.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on with the new business items 2 through 6. Does anybody have any questions, cares, or concerns with items 2 through 6 on new business? Okay. Then Kirkowski make a motion to grant the various license requests as listed on the July 20th, 2021 License Committee report.
Dukenyak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
And item 20 is our vendor summary report for the date of June 30th, 2021. If you please take a look. And if there's any questions, please feel free to ask the appropriate person if in attendance. When you are satisfied, we'll entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Garrell will move to approve the June 30th, 2021 vendor summary report in the total amount of $726,360.86.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
And item 21 is also consideration of the vendor summary report for the dates July 14th, 2020. So once again, please take a look and direct your questions to the appropriate person if in attendance. All satisfied? Motion.
Gail will move to approve the July 14, 2021 vendor summary report in the total amount of $314,799.08.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And item 22 is consideration of a resolution authorizing payments of bills, debts, and obligations. And this just comes with our meeting schedule. So, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask. If not, motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Gail will move to approve resolution 12250-072021 authorizing payment of bills, debts, and obligations.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
And item 23 is consideration of a motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, to discuss the following. A, Section .1985, Sub 1, Sub E, to consider the Second Amendment to the real estate purchase agreement with F Street OCLV LLC for the portion of the property located at 9300 South Fifth Avenue and 4001 East Lake Vista Boulevard and 4200 East Lake Vista Boulevard. And B, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub G, to consider a claim submitted by Mario Morel regarding an incident on December 17, 2020 at 2400 West Colonial Woods Drive. President Gale.
Thank you, Mayor. Gail moves to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, to discuss the following. A, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub E, to consider a Second Amendment to real estate purchase agreement with F Street OCLV LLC for a portion of the property located at 9300 South Fifth Avenue, 4001 East Lake Vista Boulevard, and 4200 East Lake Vista Boulevard. B, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub G, to consider a claim submitted by Mario Morel regarding an incident on December 17th, 2020 at 2400 West Colonial Woods Drive.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Thank you all. We will now convene into closed session and resume at its conclusion. Thank you. At the high sign, we're ready to go.
Motion might kind of close it.
Everybody set? Sam? We will now consider a motion to reconvene into open session.
Thank you, Mayor. Gail moves to reconvene in open session.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
And item 25 is consideration of a motion to take appropriate action if required.
Mine says 26, but
I'm sorry. You can go right to 26. I'm sorry. it would be item 26, and that's consideration of a resolution approving the second amended real estate purchase agreement between F Street OCLV LLC and the city of Oak Creek. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
thank you, Mayor. Yep,
Messed you up.
confused, sorry. Gail will move to approve resolution 12256-072021, approving a second amendment to real estate purchase agreement between F Street OCLV LLC and the city of Oak Creek.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
And that'll get us to adjournment. And I would just like to, I guess, express on behalf of myself and maybe many residents of the city, go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
So,
Kirkowski make a motion to adjourn.
Dukenyak, second.
roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Thank you and good night, everybody.